morning, good afternoon, depending on wherever you at. The time of the recording, this is episode 142 of the Restricted Zone podcast, man. And we're back at it again with another episode. Yesterday was football, today is basketball. Kyrie, introduce yourself to the people, man.
What's going on, man? It's been a minute. I'm glad to be back. Let's get to it, y'all.
Yes, sir. Kendrick, introduce yourself to the people out here, man.
You already know who it is. Is the smartest man on the podcast, as I always say. Back at it again.
Johnny, the man, the legend himself. Introduce yourself to the people, man.
Hello world, just Johnny tapping in again, baby. Just an analyst, not an advocate. I swear.
Yes, just an analyst, not an advocate, man. Listen, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode, the football episode we recorded. It was the first episode of 2024. And listen, we'll give a big shout out once again to our subscribers, our viewers, our fans. You know, you guys are running it up on our social media platforms. Like I said, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for all the newest episodes to stay up to date with, you know, the latest posts, videos, and etc. You know, follow us on Instagram. We'll talk about that later at the end of the episode. But we appreciate the support. 2024 is going to be a good year, and we're ready to get started, man. With that being said, it's the NBA. You know, All-Star Weekend is right around the corner. The NBA deadline, I believe, is what, the 8th? The 12th? Not that far away. The 8th. So, a couple days. So, we're going to definitely be in tune in terms of what's going on with the trades now. You know, Kendrick dropped some bad news for us Sixers fans. Joel tore his meniscus. So, at this point, throw the Sixers season away. At this point, you know, he'll probably be out with his MVP chances, too. But we're gonna stick on the East since we're already talking about the Sixers, and we gotta talk about the Bucks, man, because the Bucks made some key changes. I mean, they've been on the move since the season started. They hired a new coach, Griffin. That didn't work out. The assistant coach ended up moving out. I don't know if he chased him out or he told the lead, whatever that went down with that situation. Eventually,
He left. That bull packed his bags, bro. Terry Stotts packed his bags, bro. He's like, get me the fuck out of here.
He said, I couldn't take it no more. And he just ended up leaving. And now, eventually, the coach was the problem. So they ended up firing him. Next thing you know, the man we all love. I gotta get catchy with this.
Y'all Sixers fans love that, man.
He was an analyst for 1 week.
The Bucks
He said, I'm back, baby.
The Bucks decided to hire the man, the one and only, Doc Rivers, the 2008 NBA champion coach. This guy right here, man, he's got a legendary coaching career. He's done nothing besides with the Celtics. I hate to do this, but I got to be that guy. The amount of talented teams this man ran down to just mediocrity. And now let's see what he can do with the Bucks. Can he transform them into a championship contending team? Can they win another championship like they did? Kyrie, I'm gonna swing you, man. What's your thoughts about Doc going to the Bucks and the Bucks thinking this guy could lead them there?
Look, bro, like you said, first of all, with Doc, like, it's hard to get excited for him coming to a team like the Bucks that's got championship aspirations, that got big playoff hopes, that got big time talent, and honestly expecting him to do something with it. Feel me? I'm gonna start off with. I really want to talk about the firing of Adrian Griffin, because the man was 30-13.
Yeah,
Like,
I was confused.
It reminded me of like the David Blatt year, like with the Cavs. And I feel like it was one other coach. Oh, that happened to one other coach. I can't remember it.
I want to say Avery Johnson with Brooklyn when they first started out. I think he got coach of the month.
I remember
at
that.
one point.
Yeah, and it was in, like you said, like we said in the beginning, like it all started. It honestly stemmed from, in my belief, that falling out he had with Terry Stotts in the beginning of the season. That was before the season even started. They got into like a bit of an argument. They got into like a big blow up in practice, and not to mention like Terry Stotts was damn coach back in Portland. That was like, he was his coach. They was both rookies the same year.
Yeah,
for about a decade, they were competitive in the West. They won games together. They went to a conference finals together. Like, that's Dame's job right there. And I'm not like, Terry Stotts not like a great coach by any means or anything like that, but he was good, and he was a good offensive mind. He put Damon CJ and guys like Ant Simons later down the line in good positions, and were able to get his guards to score.
right.
And I thought he possibly could have been like more morale wise for Dame, your new addition, and for the rest of the team offensively, to help him to build chemistry around him and to build a certain type of offense around him. I feel like he could have been a big part of that. But obviously that never got to happen. And I think from there, honestly, bro, Dame just wasn't feeling it. And I remember seeing like reports or whatever, like when they went through like they skid or after they was getting their ass whooped by the Pacers. And around that time, that's when it was really getting blown up that like the Bucks can't play defense. They lost Drew Holiday and Dame Lillard. They swapped it with Dame Lillard. Like they could score with anybody in the league, but they one of the bottom five teams as far as giving up points in the league. Like we not used to this. So I
Right.
think the mixture of that plus the Terry Stotts situation and it didn't feel it. I don't think it rubbed Dame the right way because it kind of looked like he was getting the blame for the Bucks' downfall in a way, and he was playing good. Like he's an all star, but it still kind of seemed like, in my opinion, that he was kind of getting some of that blame for the Bucks' downslide on the defensive end. And I think with that chatter right there, him asking the guys to sacrifice and then not really going well over in the locker room, I think, like the report said, he lost it. He lost the locker room, and most importantly, he lost his second star in Damian Lillard. And I think that's what it. I think that's what it was. Again, it's unfortunate because the man was 30-13, bad defense or not. He's number one in the East.
And then the
So
highlight, Kyrie, once again just shows it don't matter how good a coach is, the star player isn't happy with him, he can only go. So definitely,
yeah, and Dame's got the leverage. Feel me? Dame's a multi-time All-Star. Dame's a top 75 player in this in the NBA. So you got that plus going up against a rookie coach that we only know from helping out Nick Nurse in Toronto. Feel me? Not to diminish what he's done or his coaching career up until then, but that's just what it is. Feel me?
right,
And I
right.
think a guy like Doc, a guy like Doc's known to be a player's coach. Guys are known to be like to get along with Doc and not really have any problems with him off the court and stuff like that. Like Doc, from what I hear on guys' podcasts and former players and stuff, Doc's a good guy and Doc knows how to resonate with his players. So I think they seen that. Plus, I don't know some of that remnants of the '08 championship, of the '08 championship, some of the success he's got with teams like the Clippers and the Sixers and whatnot. I thought, hey, maybe we could bring him here, different dynamic. He never coached a player like Giannis before. Let's see what he can do. He's got more
Uh,
experience, and I think my fault not to snub the Joel Embiid, not to snub Joel Embiid. He's a different type of player than Joel Embiid. Let's keep it a beat. They say he's
For
still
sure. For
dominant.
sure.
He's dominant in his own way. Feel me? But I just think the Bucks front office just seen him as the better candidate because he had more experience, one, and two, they felt like he could mend that relationship between the coach and that Bucks locker room, more specifically Dame, and get them guys back on track. But again, it just shows how grimy the business is, bro. Like that's really what it should show how grimy the business is. I honestly feel for Adrian Griffin. I hope he could get another spot somewhere else
I
or
think
another team something to pick him up.
I think he deserves another one. I mean, you don't just, especially for the first time. Granted, he had two stars, Dame and Giannis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
But you know how
I
but
mean,
y'all know how they do black coaches though. His next team gonna be a bum squad.
yeah.
Like let's keep it clean. His next team gonna be like the Hornets or something. What?
Would you wait? Okay, so would you want him to be on the
okay, that's
Pistons?
fine.
Wait, would you want him on the Pistons instead of Monty Williams? Because we all see what Monty Williams is doing with the Pistons. He ain't doing nothing with them. Might as well
Let's
put him
pick the
there.
poison with them, bro. They just not good. Let's keep it a bean. The coach don't matter. They just not good.
I don't
They
know.
just
I feel
not
like they
good.
got talent.
But no.
I feel like they got talent.
I
But
think
what
they
I
Monty,
feel like they
okay.
definitely got talent.
the one thing I give Monty Williams slack for is starting
Thank
Killian
you,
Hayes
John.
over Jaden Ivey. You wasn't supposed to do that. You wasn't supposed to do that, bro. You not.
Okay, that's fair.
Like what the hell?
But Monty Williams is a horrible coach. All right, not to get off topic. Great
Yeah,
point.
but that's how I feel about it.
Great point, Kyrie. And like I said, to highlight that, it doesn't matter if the star player doesn't want you on the team, you're not on the team anymore. Johnny, just give me your thoughts on the topic and Doc Rivers as a whole. You think he's the guy that could take the Bucks to another championship squad, get Dame his first ring?
He works. I gotta say one good thing because it's I don't I don't want to still sound biased or hurt as a Sixer fan. It's like you have to have him as a coach to understand what I'm talking about when I say this. The one thing I will say though, Doc Rivers, he does work well with stars,
Okay.
seemingly. Works good with stars. Probably one of the reasons they bought, like Kyrie said, probably one of the reasons they bought him over there. Men that bridge with Dame and whatever. And yeah, see what he could do. But honestly, I personally don't think it's going to work out. I don't have faith in Doc because I feel like Doc he has that same coaching philosophy that he refuses to change. And ironically, that is his philosophy. He just don't change, whether it be in game, during timeouts, during not time. That's ironic. Like he just that's his in game philosophy. Is he just won't change the fact that he won't change, and he's just lack of adjustments. They just played Portland, 29th ranked in offense. They dropped 119 points on him. Spoiled Dame's homecoming. Like it's just now I'm not gonna get too iffy. I think he's only been there for 2 games. I don't think they won yet, but whatever. The Clippers were 0-6. So look at them. But still, so we still give them time. You can see what they can do when they gel. But I, for one, I'm not seeing anything good coming out of Doc Rivers in long term. And that's speaking as as a fan that he was my coach, and it was just bits and pieces of in season success. But when it came down to it, strategizing, in game adjustments, and he's just not good at it, bro. Rotation, fitting players in putting them in position to score, realizing situational basketball. He's just not good at it. That's not one of his strong points. I think if this could work, it would depend on Dame and Giannis working well together, and not Doc hiding behind them. But Doc does good. He seems like he gets painted as a good coach when the team is gelling.
He can handle stuff.
And
Say that.
when a team gels, Doc is painted to be a good coach. But it's like when things aren't rocking, you can't count on Doc to like make adjustments and pull out something in his clipboard to bring the team back together to get the momentum going. I don't see anything good out of this long term. I really don't.
Okay. Kendrick, listen, Bucks was sick and they had to call a doctor. Did they get the right doctor?
No.
Yeah.
No, but Johnny, I do got to make a comment on what you were saying. You're basically saying that was a personality hire. That's what it really sounded like, you calling that hire in the Bucks.
I can't think. I mean, but his resume's too old to judge it. I mean, his last recent success worth talking about.
His name ring bells.
Hey, Kyrie, how
Yeah.
old were you in 2008? How old were all of us in 2008?
I was in fifth. I was in like fifth grade, fourth grade, fifth grade.
His resume speaks for itself as far as him just not. He just can't switch it up. No matter how many teams, how many different types of talent you give him, Doc don't seem to do it, bro.
Nah, he can't. Nah. Go ahead, Kendrick. Get it.
Yeah, but no, I just really don't think that was the. I mean, I guess it's the best solution for right now, because he is a good enough coach to get the team together and to have them make them run and like keep their position, whether they get the first or second seed, because that's where they're probably going to end up finishing by the end of the season. But it's just what is he going to do in the playoffs? Like, he can have the regular season success. Cool, have round of applause. Like, we'll give you a trophy for that. Here you are. But where's the actual hardware? Like, where's the proof in the put in deeper in the playoffs? When was the last time? I feel like wasn't the last time he made it to a conference finals was like. Did he make one with the Clippers? No, he didn't, right?
I think he made one with. Did he make one with the Clippers?
He made one.
I want to say he. I feel like he did.
Yeah.
Was it Golden State they couldn't get past, and Chris Paul got hurt? I believe in that series.
I thought
It was either them or the Rockets.
I thought it was the Rockets.
Oh, that was when he was with the Rockets, right?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know if the Clippers did.
The Clippers did go to the conference one time, but they lost. And they lost. I don't know if it was the Rockets or it was the Warriors.
Couldn't have been, because neither one of them made the finals. The Rockets never made the finals.
No, Rockets made the conference finals before.
Yeah, but they never made the finals, so it couldn't have been
the Thunder?
Nah, Kendrick about to get because I know they made conference finals one year, and I think they lost to the Rockets.
It had to be against Golden State, bro. It had to be against Golden State.
Golden State? Why do I think Rockets?
Because if they made it to the conference finals, they for damn sure lost, and they could have lost to Houston. Huh?
Yeah, of course they lost. They
yeah, but the Rockets never made it to a finals before, so it couldn't have been them in the conference finals. Rockets they haven't made it. I mean, in the James Harden era, they didn't make it to the finals.
Conference finals, though. That's crazy.
Yeah, so probably Golden State.
I think it was 2021 in the bubble.
That recent?
Oh, bro, everybody forgot about that year, didn't we?
No, wait. The bubble year is like, I don't know.
Who they play, the Mavs? No, I'm speaking.
No, they played the Lakers, right? Because that's the
They
year
played-
Bron won in the bubble, right? Bron
We
won
talking
that
about
year.
That was the year the Lakers won.
Yeah, Brown one. Yo, that
Yeah,
Austin
that
was a
was
blur. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
yeah. That okay. Wow, I could have sworn they did it when James Harden was on the Rockets, though. That's why I was so confused. All right, but go ahead, Kendrick. I'll bring it back to you.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, that's I mean, you see, I feel like how long ago that was going back to
Yeah.
the bubble.
They had a
That's
whole
crazy.
debate about it. A mini debate with a debate.
Yeah, bro. I was a whole like decade ahead. Like I was like, please, bro.
I had PJ dropping
That's
55
But
over.
yeah,
that's
I
sad
just
that we gotta reminisce what was his last six. Like that's bad. That's not a good one. That's bad.
Yeah. We'll see what he does.
Listen,
yeah. At the end of the day, we'll see what he does. We'll see what he
Listen,
does.
listen.
I want to say one last thing. I want to say because I feel like one thing I forgot to cover, and I don't think we really covered as a whole, was they didn't address their biggest weakness and their biggest downgrade, which has been their defense.
Defense.
Oh, I thought we were just going to accept that as Dame Lillard's fault.
Yeah, but I'm saying unless they do some type of move or like at the trade deadline or something like that, this was just like a band-aid that didn't really need to be covered for real, for real. Because if they were just going to be a half defensive team and just drop 120 points, try to
Bro, I'm
compete.
about to say, you just had Jeremy Grant took it.
Like they could have been that way with Adrian Griffin. My thing, what I'm trying to say is they lost their identity. The Bucks were like a top 5 defensive team throughout that
Yes,
run
for sure.
with Drew and them, and when he went to the finals and whatnot.
Yeah, because Drew was there.
They lost that identity losing Drew,
Mm-hmm.
and they never regained it back, or they don't really got one outside of having 2 big name stars that can go out there and have their way with you offensively. Feel me?
Right.
And I don't think they switching the coach wasn't what you needed to do, in my opinion, to rectify that or to get the team back on track. But again,
It seemed like they're trying to establish a new type of identity based off of that perspective. Seems like they're trying to establish a new type of identity or trying to get back.
my thing though, you don't do it with Doc though, because what Doc's
Yeah, you don't
identity,
do it with that. Yeah.
his identity is big stars that don't come up in big moments. Like that's what it's all come down to. Big stars don't come up in big moments.
Thanks.
So I feel like that's gonna be one of these teams. Sadly, like this is a team I legitimately thought had like a shot at the finals, and with it's just having Doc at the helm, bro. I feel like he's gonna hold them back somehow. It's something gonna happen.
He's one of the best doctors on the planet. I heard. We're on the street.
I still think trading Drew Holiday was really like the unnecessary thing to do.
They had no.
Like you're gonna score, but like you're losing your.
The thing they were trying to pin on Drew was that he minimized him. So he got minimized in the playoffs. That was the thing they was trying to put on him, and that was in a way they needed to get over that hump, having another option outside of Giannis, especially one that could shoot from the outside that you could rely on constantly throughout the playoffs. That was the hump they needed to get over. But sacrificing that so much, that defensive identity, like it's killing them in the long run somewhat.
Oh, yeah.
Not so much so because their offense is still good to the point they can keep up with teams, but it's just like a hard balance. It's not as balanced as it was before.
No, that's it.
Maybe they should have thought about trading Chris Middleton instead.
Yeah, ain't they pay him?
They paid him. Yeah. He got a big contract.
Bro, don't get me started on Chris Middleton. If y'all,
He eating good.
our restricted zone podcast fans know how we feel about Chris Middleton.
I love.
We feel this. It's like it's Rudy Gobert and then it's Chris Middleton second. Like,
bro, chill.
Yo, it's really that bad, Johnny? It's really that bad?
Nah, he ain't up there with Rudy.
I don't like that guy, bro.
He ain't listen. You know what, man? Listen, let's get on to the
I
next.
would say Chris Middleton cool, but it's just like
he gets paid like he's not.
He reminds me of
get paid.
Portland Trailblazers. What's his name? Jeremy Grant? Yeah. He get paid like an all-star. He never did he make all-star?
Bro put up 21-4.
Yeah.
Nah, he ain't no all-star.
No, 21 and 4 is calm.
But he put up 21-4, get like 130 mil. I never seen it.
That's solid.
Shout
I
out to
hate
hey, getting out
21
these
and 4 boys,
Hey,
man.
contracts.
That's
21 and
crazy.
4. You know
bro.
what?
I
All
hate
right.
Chris Middleton.
Shout out to the
Might
NBA.
get a couple assists in there once
They should
again.
have traded Chris Middleton, Kendrick.
Listen,
Nah, you definitely.
listen. Let's get to the All Star Weekend since it's right around the corner. Wait, before we get started to this question, are you guys looking for the All Star Weekend, the slam dunk contest, 3 point, skills
Nah.
challenge? No,
No.
I'll tune
no.
into the skill.
I
I'll
feel the
watch
skills
that.
too. Yeah, I
That's a
always
little
watch.
fun. I like that they included the big man in it. Big man versus yards.
Johnny
That's pretty
Cruz,
fun.
that Johnny
They got
Cruz
Webby in that
episode
joint.
brought that up.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Yep.
So I watched the skill for sure. That'd be something I watch. I'm more looking forward to the 3-point contest more than anything, but that's about it.
I think. Listen, the All
I'm
Star.
gonna watch the rookie sophomore game.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah. That's low key. Celebrity game. Why not?
Slur. Why
Throw
Oh,
that
not?
in
for
there
Why
too.
Uh, I'm not trying to
Anything
be. I'm
but the
not
Appreciate
trying to
main
see Jack.
game, bro.
I'm trying to see Jack Harlow hooping, bro. This ain't watch the kids up too. I ain't trying to see Jack Harlow
I
hooping, bro.
missed it, bro. I miss Kevin Hart and J. Cole. Like, get some
J Cole can hoop.
Snoop Dogg. Remember Snoop, bro? That was fun. They got to bring it back.
They both used to be out there cooking niggas.
J Cole can hoop. J Cole can hoop.
Nah, they could bring back DK Metcalf though.
No,
Come
he
on
yo.
now,
For
bro.
sure.
I know you
They
saw.
could bring.
No,
Okay.
yo.
The main point is we looking for if we was look forward to this, is everything except for the main game. Like,
Listen,
Yeah. Eh,
all listen. The All Star teams got announced, and man, listen, Kyrie. Listen, I got some gripes, and you. I think you could. You listen. They let Dame over Jalen Brunson. What's
It's
going
No,
the
let me talk
name.
about
on?
it. Let me talk about it, bro.
Hold on,
Let me
hold on,
talk
hold on,
about
hold
it.
on, hold on.
It's
Before
the
we dive
name.
in,
come on,
before
don't snap on
we
Kyrie.
dive,
Kyrie, before you get going, I just want to say, hell of a January by New York. I have to say that.
oh yeah,
So,
to talk about the Knicks
Shout
too.
so
out to
that
the
snub,
We
shout out
gonna
to
wait.
the OG.
we waiting for that Knicks tape.
Hey,
Hold on. Before we get started, and then a lot of people had some complaints with Steph Curry not starting over Shea, and I'm thinking, well, listen, Shea's been playing like an MVP caliber guy.
Out of his body
I mean,
again for how many consecutive straight years?
right? Like, I mean,
for
let's
years in a
Steph
row.
We
is.
were
I
talking about him
think
for most improved when he should have got MVP. He's like fifth in MVP voting.
no, for real. I mean, in the All
He's
Star
a
reserves,
hooper.
Paolo Banchero just made his first All Star team. There's a couple of names on here. The All Star reserves got announced, but I'm gonna throw it to Kyrie because Kyrie got a lot to talk about. Listen, Jalen Brunson not being an All Star starter, they
Mm-hmm.
game over. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm gonna get to that, but I want to shout out one person that I feel like got really got snubbed. I feel like it was hard to really name him snub because
Right.
for the most part, like the lineup was, it was like what I expected. Feel me? But
I got his name.
ain't no way in hell Cat should have made it over Sabonis, bro.
Oh yeah.
Cat,
Yeah, talk about it.
man,
Ah,
Sabonis 20 and 13 with 8-9 and shooting better percentage from the field and from the three than Cat. Yeah, I get it. The Timberwolves are the number one seed right now, bro. They hot. Like, yeah, I get it. But Sabonis should have been an All Star, bro. My man's putting up 20 and 13 right now, and he's been killing it.
I don't
He's
what he man. I don't. You know how I feel about Sabonis. After what he did, disappointed me too much. I don't know. I gotta wait and see.
but to my man Brunson. See, I'm happy he's an All Star. I
Right.
don't want to be ungrateful because he got snubbed last year off the roster
He
entirely
did. He did.
when he should have been one. But the reason I think he should have made it over Dame, and I'm not being biased here. Everybody know I'm a Knicks fan. Everybody know I fuck with Brunson heavy. But I'm not being biased here when I say numbers aside, Jalen Brunson has brought a bigger buzz than Damian Lillard has this season.
Absolutely.
Like he made the New York Knicks relevant and watchable.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna say that again. So I've been watching the Knicks like heavy since like 09, 2010, bro. He made the Knicks
Oh
relevant
nah.
and watchable, bro.
we all laughed at that $110 million contract. We laughed.
And
Well, not laughed. We not laughed, but
we scoffed at it. We were like, what? Jalen Brunson, 100 something. I was one of them. I ain't gonna hold. I was one of them.
Mm.
And right now, my man's putting up 26 points a game, seven dimes, 4 boards, shooting
Yep.
42% from the 3-point line.
6'2",
Like,
1.
it, he's put on he's put on an offensive masterclass all season, bro. My thing is he does it so efficiently. Like in the mid range, the up and unders, getting into the paint, taking contact. He don't get nearly as many fouls as foul calls as he should. if he was really like body hunting and foul hunting like the rest of these dudes do, he'd be averaging 30 right now, close to 30. But what I go back to is my opinion is he's had a bigger buzz and more impact on the team this season as far as the Knicks than Dame has to the Bucks, and I feel like that's why he should have been an All-Star starter.
Absolutely.
But overall, I'm not mad at none of the lineups or anything like that. I think the Lakers got favored a little bit. Like I don't like yeah, Bron's gonna make it. But
Yeah.
Anthony Davis, I get it. He putting up 25 and 12, but he missed it. He's missing a bunch of games. Like if you're gonna penalize Kristaps for that, because Kristaps he could have been a little argument there that he's possibly the All Star too, but he missed a bunch of games too. He's been in and out, and I don't know, man. I feel like it really got me tight that Sabonis and Fox. I forgot to mention Fox, but Sabonis and Fox ain't make it. And
Fox not big.
I'll put Sengun got snubbed too, low key. He put up
So
like
that was wait, you got one of my snubs. I got one more. I got another one.
I
He was
thought
one of
that.
mine.
I'm not trying to hog everything, bro. But it's just
No, but it was tough behind Sabonis though, because that's the only reason I would have put Sabonis in big snub. But Sengun, yes.
Mhm. Yeah, I just feel like with the big men in the West, it was some shuffling around that could have been done. But overall, I'm not mad at the roster. My boy JB just should have been starting. Sabonis should have been an All Star.
No, that's definitely true. I mean, listen, Fox not making the All. I think Fox was hurt at the beginning of the season. I think that's why. But that's not an argument when we got some of the guys on the team, that
Yeah,
they.
because Devin Booker was hurt too. The D Book made it right.
Man, they just announced the reserves not too long ago, so
I think D Book missed like 9 games to start off the season, like 10 games, something like that to
Tyrese
start the
Maxey,
season. Please.
or Jalen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Julius Randle. Those are the Eastern Conference reserves. Bam Adebayo. The Western Conference reserves is Devin Booker, Steph Curry, AD,
Yeah.
Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Cat. That's the reserves.
Yeah. Well, like that injury conversation really can't be made because Anthony Davis has missed games, and Devin Booker missed a chunk of games to start the season off too. So I don't know. Overall, I'm satisfied though.
Listen, Kendrick, your thoughts on this topic about the All-Star starters, the reserves, and who you think got snubbed, and just give us your thoughts. And then swing it to Johnny, last but not least.
Listen, I personally like just to pick up what Kyrie is saying. Yeah, they really only gave it to Dame because it's like he really only won it because of the fan vote. Like it was literally because he just had more fans, and it's just because Dame had was in that superstar role way before Brunson was, or when he's
Sure.
coming up to be. So it's like
Mhm.
if you really take out the fans vote, and if you really look at it for bar, Jalen Brunson should be up there with no problem. But
Yeah.
it's just unfortunate that Dame was a superstar before Brunson got Brunson got his chance. Before he got his chance. And that's also brings up a funny topic because I always say superstar is such a hard thing to be in the NBA because there's so few of them. But I feel like Dame has proven that point along with because since he was there at Portland and they I feel like people weren't really giving his superstardom because he was just at Portland doing whatever. But he's coming over here still hooping and doing his thing with the Bucks, even though they fired the head coach, even though that was a whole nother side thing. But I feel like that shows that he's that high caliber player. But he shouldn't have been an All-Star this year though. And who I felt like it was pretty fair for the whole overall everything. AD being a starter was really a shock to me. I was a little baffled by that one. Felt like he's had a great season, but I don't know. I feel like he's not having. I feel like he's having an average season for how good of a player he is. I feel like he should be doing more, maybe. And so
Not
I
to
just
cut
feel
you
like
off,
personally,
Kenny, not to cut you off, but relative to his team's success right now or lack thereof, definitely.
That's fair. That's fair.
so
Definitely agree.
I just feel like but it's okay. It's AD. Like he still has a name. Like he got a name behind him. So those things always have a slight favor because it's like who's really who's the people that want to see more? Because it's like, do you want to see Anthony Davis or like Sagoon? I mean, nothing wrong with Sagoon, but I mean, is that his name? Am I saying it right?
That's how I say it. I
Boom,
don't
yeah.
know.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. But so yeah, so it's just like, who do the people really want to see? And like, AD has a bigger name than Sagoon, so that's why it's always going to get that push to be like, we got to get the highs. And so it's just, he's not there yet compared to AD, but he has a chance to get there the way he's been hooping. So
Rockets have been playing well. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, they look like how I thought they were going to look when they signed those two. I felt like, okay, they're going to
Yeah. No, they definitely.
change the pace a little
He
bit.
may have been putting a good imprint on them.
No, man, hire him as a coach. Awesome, great decision long term. Johnny, swing it to you, man. Give us your thoughts on this topic. All-star snubs, some guys who you a little bit surprised they made it. Just give us your overall thoughts, man.
Well, like you guys pretty much hit it on the nose. I did want to. There's a couple of names I definitely agree with, but I did have a. Yeah, I have to say I'm not arguing too much with the names. Who we expected to be there are there, as far as reserves as well. But I do see that team success plays a lot into who makes it and who doesn't, and that leads me to like one of my all-star snubs, Brandon Ingram, BI, like averaging 21 and a half points per game, got the Pelicans seventh. I think Zion probably leads the team in scoring, but he missed like 20 games. Brandon
Yeah,
Ingram, he's healthy, he's durable, he's consistent. He plays. He's got the Pels competing again for another year, helping out. Of course, CJ is CJ, but as far as that position, I feel like Ingram, they should have squeezed some room out for him. I feel like he deserved that. And on the East Coast side, I understand because I ain't gonna fraud the Hawks stuff right now, but I really like what Trey doing. Another year of averaging a double double, 27 about 11 dimes. It's Ice Trey once again, and but I understand why he's not getting in. And but like I said, I learned a lot this year that team success really plays a part, and because there's a couple of names that should have made it but didn't based off of probably, like Kendrick said, also buzz being bigger than others and also team success. Like I really like Brandon Ingram and Trey Young for snubs, but everybody else I'm happy they made it. I ain't going for it. I can see them being there. Everything else pretty much made sense.
Johnny,
That was
I'm gonna keep the spotlight on you just a little bit before we swing on to
Hmm.
the next topic. So Trey Young is really a polarizing player for me because it's like, because you like you say, he's averaging a double double, right? He's
Hurts me to
done
say
well in
that
the
as a Sixer.
playoffs,
Hurts me to say that as a Sixer.
but
Oh,
it's like, what is Trey Young like? Like, you think he could really lead a team to compete at the hot, like, cause like I'm just confused with Trey Young. Like,
he's
if you
just
look
one of
at his
those players
stats,
you could build around. He's definitely a build around piece. If you put him in the right position, he can probably carry you in a certain series, maybe a certain game or so to
mm,
carry a series. Honestly, ex Calvary, we saw what he did, and he's proven that he can take over playoff series in certain occasions.
right?
And so I feel like he's a player you can build around. Like you give him the right pieces. I just feel like Atlanta just hasn't found the right pieces to use to build him around yet.
I
Like
think
I feel like they almost had it. They always almost had it, but they were always missing maybe a little bit in the front court, maybe a bench player here, or maybe something on the wing. It was always Dejounte Murray was a good addition. I think they kept John Collins, signed over Capella. They made moves over the years to try to help it out. Bulked up their bench a little bit, trying. But I feel like, bro, Trey is a piece you could build around, but Atlanta just can't quite find it yet.
okay, all right.
and I think they're kind of finding it like little like piece by piece because they low key found the replacement earlier than I feel like they should have in John Collins with the bull Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, yeah.
He's been out
Hmm.
here wrecking he's
Yeah,
been out
for
here
sure.
wrecking the season. I ain't gonna hold you.
They
And
found his
it's to the point where in those trade rumors we hear about the Hawks, a lot of the chatter is everybody up for grabs but Trey and Jalen.
Mm.
So, like you said, Johnny, they haven't really found it yet. They was close to with that core when it was like DeAndre Hunter, John,
Yeah, D
Clark,
Hunter and
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Herter, I think.
Gallinari, Kevin Herter. Yup, that little core, they almost had it. But I think they're trying to rehash it out now. And like the whole Dejounte thing in the backcourt with them, that was a whole experiment that hasn't really gone right yet. And I think they found that they had some type of connection with him and Jalen Johnson's like, yo, we got to start from these two and build from the ground up. Trey,
Hmm.
Jalen's still young, but you're definitely right. I definitely agree with you though. He's a guy that you can build around, but the Hawks just haven't really found that formula to put around him yet.
And
For
yeah,
sure.
I always said maybe Trey Young because I don't know. I just feel like because he's such a liability on the defensive end, just like Isaiah Thomas. That's how I see like that one year Isaiah Thomas went off for the Celtics. That's how I kind of look at Trey Young a little bit. He gives you
Mm.
everything offensively, but he's such a liability on the defensive end. Like teams constantly attack him. I watched the Hawks game. And it's like they really take advantage of him. It's just hard.
One of his
It's
other
not as
problems is though, like offensively, the one place he's like a I guess like a burden offensively is off the ball. You're not going to get nothing from him. He don't move around a lot. He's always at like the top hash mark. Like he
Yep.
passed the ball, and watch the offense move around and whatnot. He don't really cut and move around and screen it. Like that's just not what they
Unless
have
it's
him
a
do.
design play.
Exactly.
tired
Like to get him
whenever.
open on the wing or something like that. But I said that in the beginning of the season too. Like that was like one of my things with the gripes with the Hawks and Trey Young. You don't move around the ball like that. Stephen Curry, who he was getting a lot of comparisons to, as far as being a shooter, as far as being a smaller guy, a guy that that has range, out the gym range. Steph Curry gets open and runs around and uses screens, but they haven't really found a way to implement that in their offense. And Trey Young and the Hawks as a team, they struggle because of that.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
I
All
see
right,
that.
we move. Oh, what you say, Kendrick? You got something to add?
No, I was agreeing with him. Like I see what he's saying because yeah, honestly, I really would honestly thinking about it. I've never seen Trey do anything off the ball. Like there's like maybe
He
like
don't.
That's
in a game
crazy,
he might
right?
do
The way
he
his
might
game
do
is
it
set
two
up.
three times.
Yeah.
Like he really might only do it 2-3 times the entire game, and it's just like what what do you do? Like what do you do
The way
after
his
you
game is
give the
set up,
ball up? It's
DeJounte
just like
Murray can give you 7
And
You
I
know,
know this
you
not
know
to
who else had that
but
problem? I used to like, you know who else had that problem? I remember watching and just like seeing him just stand off in the corner or on the John Wall, and that hurt,
Oh yes.
that hurt the
I
Wizards
love
a
John.
lot. Like that hurt in the John Wall Bill days. It
Oh
used to
man,
hurt them because like Bradley Bill be trying to create something. He's just sitting there. John
because
like
John
just
Wall
sitting
didn't that shot for nothing.
there. Yeah.
yeah,
John
but
Wall
they
could
could
shoot when he felt like it. It was
He,
whenever he felt like it, he could shoot, bro. But some nights he just ain't had it. But
his mid range game was. I give him that. His mid range game was. Yeah,
yeah, he got that shit start. But yeah, he was another one. He should just stand there on offense. That shit don't help.
man. Yeah. Listen, the Hawks got a lot of things they got to work on. But moving with that, let's go to the topic. We're gonna go to the West, man. Listen, the West has got to be. It's always exciting in the West. Something about this year is just a lot different. We got two small market teams that are actually in the top three, right? When the last time actually the Kings were the top threes, but is the past couple years we small markets really make a surge when it comes to actually competing for the playoffs and actually, having that light that hey, we're not just making the playoffs. We could pretty much, I don't want to say win it all, but let's see how far we can really take this thing. And I feel like this year between OKC and Minnesota, the Clippers are third. Oh, and before we get back to the small market, I mean, talk about the Clippers, man. It was awful at the beginning after the James Harden trade. And now look, listen,
Mhm.
I want to get some thoughts, Kyrie, on the Clippers before we bring it back to the original topic. Just what's your thoughts on the Clippers so far and how they're playing?
From what I watched recently, compared to the first couple games I watched when they got James Harden, it's just all cohesive now.
Yeah,
The first when I remember the first game when Harden came was actually against the Knicks. I made it a point to watch that game, and it looked like Kawhi and PG were trying too hard to acquiesce or to kind of adapt to James Harden's play style. And what helped them out was Russ starting to come off the bench and PG and Kawhi maintaining that same level of aggression they had before James Harden came. Like, look, you're gonna get your touches on this wing, I'm gonna get my touches on this wing. And we gonna both get our 25, 26 points a game. We're gonna be able to operate. We're gonna be able to like get our buckets within the offense. And getting their buckets within the offense got harder with James Harden because he has the ball in his hands so much. He's not an off the ball type of guy. So they had to figure out ways how to get him incorporated somewhat. Um, Another thing I seen as far as that was getting that pick and roll down with Zubac. Him and Zubac got that pick and roll down. He's able to find him. And James Harden's always been a good pick and roll passer. It was just getting that chemistry together. And it just took I'm sorry, Kawhi Leonard and PG to figure out how to play around him and to get their shots around him. And it's looked great so far.
Kendrick, on the third top, we talked about the small market teams being the top three, but the Clippers, they're number three, and considering after the James Harden trade, they were like 0 for I think 0-7, 0-6 after the trade, and then they climbed up to the top three. Just give me your thoughts on the Clippers and how far you think they could possibly go.
See, I just feel like they only gonna. I mean, they'll go.
You think they're gonna choke?
Yeah, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I just don't see it because the way their offense is built right now, it's like, I don't know. James Harden won't be really a major factor in the playoffs. We've seen this before. It's like it's a constant theme. So it's like they have to rely on themselves. They have to rely on Paul George and Kawhi Leonard to really lock in, because we've seen over the years James Harden will give you 2 games a series, 1 to 2 games a series, 1 to 2. 1 to 2, depending on if anybody's hurt, he'll give you 1 to 2 games.
Right, he'll give you 2 40-point games. Yeah,
and then
he'll give you 6 turnovers next game.
And so it's like, I just feel like they have to. I don't know what they can do. I don't know who they can go out and get to have somebody behind him to be a good enough replacement to trust in, that you can still, because then you can just have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard go. But I just don't see it happening, because James Harden is going to be that factor again.
Okay, John.
I got a slight rebuttal to that. My fault. You go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead.
Actually, so Johnny, go ahead, Kyrie. Say, give your rebuttal. Then we'll swing it to Johnny. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, James Harden's got something different he hasn't had at his past couple stops, and that's a guy right behind him off the bench that can come and keep up his same a similar pace of scoring, and that's Norman Powell. Norman Powell puts up like 18 off the bench, and he can get it off quickly. Like he gets it off within. He don't dribble too much. Sometimes he dribbles too much, but he likes to catch and shoot, dribble, drive, penetrate. Feel me? And a guy like Russell Westbrook who could take on that distribution role off the bench with James Harden off the floor or whatnot. So I think they're a little deeper behind James Harden now than say the Nets were or the Sixers were. And I think they have guys that can kind of cover up them holes like that James Harden has when he comes to the playoffs. I definitely see what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong or anything, but I'm saying I think they have they have a little more support behind him than he has in the past that shouldn't be worried about too much in my opinion.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Johnny, give me your thoughts on the Clippers so we bring it back to the small market teams, man.
I was gonna, Kyrie. That was actually gonna be my point. I feel like, Kendrick, what I was gonna say was the same thing Kyrie, same point Kyrie made. I was gonna say I feel like he can hide more when it counts. I was gonna say that like jokingly. I think he's better, and he can just, hey, I can duck out more on this team. Like, it's way more options. Like, Maxey ain't there, and Embiid's not there. Oh crap, it's on me. But like, no, in this situation, I can defer way more in the second and third. So it's kind of like that. I'm not trying to diss James Harden like that, but as far as working around his lack of talents in certain aspects, in certain game situations, especially possibly clutch playoff situations at moments, they can probably hide him a little bit better. And another thing, like, man, this is just beautiful. I can't believe, once again, as a Sixers fan, it just, well, how is this happening? Why does this always happen to us? They leave us, and it seems like they just be happier and better. Like, why does this always happen? I'm not gonna say I didn't throw shade. I wasn't gonna say I was a hater. I'm not gonna say I wanted him to fail, but I was like, for you to do what you did to us and then go over there and it's working, just makes me want to cry.
Two things.
As a Sixers fan, as a Sixers fan, bro.
Anybody that's moved from Philly,
like the majority of players that move here, just they kind of be okay, bro. And I'll be like, yo, I'm scared for Embiid. But anyway, we're not going to get there. Listen, let's just stick with the Clippers. The point is, they've impressed me. They're my standout team for this past week. Like, mainly because 5 of the last 6 teams last week took like humbling losses, except for the Clippers. Our Sixers got humbled by the Pacers, Nuggets, and the Knicks. Kyrie, thank you. The Thunder got humbled by the Pistons.
Yeah,
The
that
T
was
Wolves
OT.
got humbled by the Spurs,
The Pistons.
and the Hornets. Uh, the Bucks got humbled by the Blazers and the
What?
Cavs. Boston got humbled, ironically, by the Clippers. So they're the only team to really like come out of the cream of the crop, so to speak. And they hooping right now. So I have to pick them as my standout team. It seems to be working over there right now. They found a way to have it gel, and they figured out a way to probably work around James Harden more. And I think James Harden actually wants to be there. And that's the thing about him. It hurts me to say this as well. I know you can play. It's just that when he gets upset and when he gets mad, he don't play. But if you satisfy, he's like a baby, bro. If you give him all his toys, all his juice, his snack, give him his bedtime story, his remote, he will be on his best behavior. He will be the best kid ever. The babysitter will love him. If he's pleased and he has everything he has or he wants, then he will play, and he's over there. He's a richest owner in the NBA right now,
Right.
so he knows he know he can work for the bag. He's from Cali. He's comfortable. He likes the Clippers. He's in a better position. He's happy. So hence, he's gonna behave.
Johnny, I will say two things before we get back to third. I will say two things he did do before he left. He got rid of Doc for us because he made it ultimatum. It's like me or Doc, bro. They got rid of Doc. We went to Nick Nurse. So hey, I'm not complaining. We got Nick Nurse, and I love him as a
The
coach.
baby
And
kicks and
two,
screams.
I would my only regret is how would James Harden play under a coach like Nick Nurse? Cause seeing how well he excelled, but then we would have never got Tyrese Maxey's development as an all-star the way he is. So you know you kind of got to give and take. So I feel like I think we
I'll
won that trade, but I think both
I'll
teams
take
benefit
yeah.
from the trade.
I'll take the give and take with that one, but
Yeah.
yeah. So that's that. There's the Clippers in a nutshell so far. We'll see. We'll see how hot they stay.
Okay. So before we get back to the topic, Greg, on the call on the episode, introduce yourself to the people, man. Hopping in the middle. Come on, talk to us.
Listen, New Year's, say me. You know what I'm gonna say. Man of the hour, too sweet to be sour.
Yeah.
Apologies. Had to attend to work beforehand, but let me know. What's up? What's up? What's
All
going
right.
on?
Listen, Greg.
What's the word from the front seat, Greg? Yes, sir.
Now I'm crying. It's the
Listen.
only place where I could listen. You don't live in a Haitian household, my brother. If I did it inside the house, it would have been worse. I had to go outside. I had to go outside. I
Listen,
had to
Greg,
go outside.
we gonna break enough of
Greg
the
ready to
hair.
pull up.
No, enough of the heritage. We gonna get back to the topic. OKC and Minnesota, two small market teams. They're in the top three. The past couple years, we've seen a couple small market teams. Did you put the thumb down on those
I'm,
guys? Oh, okay.
I'm not believing in Minnesota, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yo.
Hold on. Listen.
They
All right,
got
don't
Carl
say
Anthony
nothing.
Towns playing quality minutes, and you expect me to believe in them? I've seen the
Don't
brother in the.
What's
say
And
wrong with
nothing.
Cat, bro?
I
What's
just
wrong with
watched.
Cat?
I just watched. I just watched. Brother said, "What's wrong with Cat?" Let me go back to that for a second. I Let me just say, we've seen Cat play in what, three separate playoff series?
That's
He
true.
played. He played one when he had Jimmy Butler. He played
Oh,
2 years ago. He
Yep.
played 2 years ago when he had the against the Grizzlies, and then last year against
Okay.
the Nuggets. He was McBuns against when Jimmy was on the team. That's why he left. He was hot garbage against the Grizzlies,
oh
even
my.
though
Big
they should
Buns
have,
is hot dog.
even though they should have won, and though you could give me statistical games where he was good when you needed Cat most as the number one option, the brother was giving you hot garbage in quality minutes. I'll give you 62, for instance. And then this past season, I watched him literally give me garbage, literally handed Ant the keys because he showed me that he couldn't lead a team in the playoffs. And if that isn't enough, I watched the brother drop 62 points through three. I think he dropped I
No,
forget what it was,
62.
but
Without 62, yeah.
he dropped 62. But I forget how much he had through
Almost
three
66.
quarters. How much he had through three quarters, and then in the fourth, let's say he had like 54 through three quarters. In the fourth quarter, with it still being a close game, the brother goes 2 of 10 from the field, and you lose to the Charlotte Hornets. Nah, you're garbage. And I can't. And I
Yeah,
Williams said,
I
what
just
Cat Williams
called
said,
that
it's not.
upset out.
It's unlike you to be associated with losers. What Cat Williams said? Come on, bro. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Yo, yo, he
Yeah,
just gave
what?
All
Cat
right, Greg.
almost.
All right, so
And
I
Greg
got you.
has entered
Bro,
the
you didn't
chat.
have to violate,
Greg,
bro.
okay,
That was
Greg. So listen, so all right, so you
Greg
kind
has
of
entered the chat.
answered,
bro. But did he
half the
lie
question.
though? Did he
He's
lie?
not lying. That's the sad point. That's the sad point, though. He's not lying. But Greg, you answered half the question since we got your
Bro,
thoughts
it's
on
Cat not
Minnesota.
luck.
We got your thoughts on Minnesota. Now the other smart market team, OKC. Since you think so poorly of Minnesota, I like to
I
think
just
you look at OKC a little differently now, right? What's your
uh,
expectation for this upcoming season? I mean, this playoffs.
honestly, it really just depends on matchup. Because if OKC plays, like, say for instance, the Kings,
Mm-hmm.
I see OKC being the Kings. Any team that doesn't have a real big man presence, I see OKC waxing them. If they have any semblance of a big man presence, they're getting destroyed because Chet is probably a front
Sabonis.
runner for. Yeah, well, Sabonis, but like I don't know. Sabonis to me is having like not the same season that he had last year, and I
Thank you.
think Chet
Thank you.
and I
Oh,
and
wasn't
I think
crazy.
Chet can have a respectable
Wait,
can put up a
wait,
respectable
what?
rebound.
Greg, your audio.
My fault.
Yeah,
My fault.
Greg,
Can you hear
your
me?
audio is going out, bro.
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right. Basically, I'm saying if the other team has a big man presence, Chet's not getting no rebounds, and we've literally seen them. They lost to the Pistons with Jalen. Who was it?
Jalen,
Yeah, Jalen
Durant.
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 It was Durant.
20 and 20, bro. Bro, come
Well,
on,
Jalen
bro.
Durant, Jalen's a different. He's a
And
nice
I, and
player.
I and I understand that, but it's not. But if it was only just that situation, that's one thing. Then you lose every game to the Lakers because you can't handle Anthony Davis down low. If you see the Timberwolves, that's the only team I think the Timberwolves potentially could beat in the playoffs, right? If things shake out that way. But I'm just saying, if there's a big man presence down low, I don't see OKC winning because OKC's biggest benefit is that. Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
All right. OKC's
Yes.
biggest benefit is their pace, right? And obviously that they have a closer in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but
Right.
they're not always going to be able to get out and run in the postseason like they are in the regular season, and they're going to clamp down on defense. So if it's half-court sets and it's really a scenario of you making or missing shots or you getting offensive or defensive rebounds, I can't count on Chet getting me a quality offensive rebound in a moment of truth. Let's keep it a stat. Let's
Ooh.
keep it a buck. If it's a defensive rebound that needs to be made, I can't count on Chet right now. He
Mm.
gave up. I just can't. Anthony Davis, give me that. Can't Cat. I'll give Cat some credit, or Rudy Gobert and they'll say give me that. I don't know. I can't. I don't know with them. They're give or take. They're
He'll say
give
it
or
in
take.
French. He'll say it in French.
Exactly. With the Warriors, I don't know. Maybe he'll get some rebounds over Draymond Green. I don't know. But if there's a big man presence, there's such a I can see them going to the second round and losing, or I can see them losing in the first round. But I don't see no Western Conference Finals for them.
Kendrick, do you agree with Greg's statement? What's your thoughts on this topic? Give me your overall thoughts, and then I'll swing it to Kyrie after.
Listen, I feel like you gotta give more stock. I mean, I just don't feel like I feel like there's gonna be a time where the Timberwolves will not fully rely on Cat. I mean, he'll have his games, and that was just one of his games. But I feel like on a night-to-night basis, they're always gonna look at Anthony Edwards first, and then Cat second. But you gotta give the man him props. And when he's hooping, he's gonna hoop, and he's gonna hope it turns out well. But if it doesn't, then you just gotta throw your hands up to him and be like, well, better luck next time. Like, I don't know. There's only so many times before what you think about. They're going to have to move him. They're going to have to move Cat, you feel like, to do something. Like, it's just like, what else are they supposed to do? But who they go get? Who wants Cat? Like, who's going to trade for Cat?
Maybe the
No,
Knicks.
you're right. The only things I seen for Cat for the most part, bro, was them swapping Julius Randle with us. But it's like I don't want that nigga. So mm,
You see, like
yeah.
I just feel
But
like my fault.
here, no, I was gonna say I'm kind of on your side, Kendrick, too, because I like when it came to this topic, I kind of leaned over to the Timberwolves. I'm even gonna hold you as far as what team I think is built the best right now and is built the best for the playoffs. And it's because this sole reason they found their identity, and that identity is being a good defensive and a good rebounding team. And I looked up I pulled up some of the stats. Number one in points allowed, number
Mm.
four in fast break points allowed, third in paint points allowed, and second in opponent shooting field goal percentage. They hold opponents to 45% from the field.
Yeah, bro.
So
Having Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert really shown its worth right now.
and that's exactly what I'm getting to, bro. Having Mike Conley be a little bit settled into that team more, and he's around a bunch of younger guys, so he's going to take us some time to settle in. But he's getting more comfortable with that team, and he's still very pesky on the perimeter. Still gives guards a hard time. And another thing is this team just seems so much more mature than what they were last year and 2 years ago when we seen them in the play-in and stuff like that. They just seem so much more mature, and I'm gonna give Cat some props here because him and Rudy's chemistry on the floor has gotten so much better together. Because last year, their first year together, when I was seeing it, things just looked so clunky and they looked out of place, and they didn't really look too super comfortable on the floor together. Now they're
Mm-hmm.
communicating. I ain't gonna hold y'all. They get a little too cute sometimes, throwing little shovel passes and like Cat be doing the floaters and dumping it off to Rudy and shit. We're like, yo, you 7 foot, nigga, go up and dunk that shit. So, but they have got nice and big passing. Like I do see glimpses of Rudy Gobert getting the ball, shoveling it off the cat, and he finished. Like it looked good. So like them on the floor together. It looks decent now. I mean, it looked good now. So
Yeah.
you got that. You got Cat and Rudy like meshing and cohesive together. Not to mention a big man off the bench, Nas Reed. Nas Reed, low key, like he's making like a
Hooper.
6 year type of. Shout out Jersey, man. He the only one from that Jelly fan movement to make it, bro.
Yeah,
You don't know that. He's the
who would have
only
thought?
one from Jelly fan to make it to the league, bro.
Who would have
Big
thought?
Jelly. Shout out to Jersey. But he's having a big season too, and off the bench, he brings a lot of those same qualities Cat does. He's mobile. He can handle the ball. He can shoot. He can get to the rim and lay you. Like so, when he's out there with Rudy, he's out there with Cat. The dynamic don't really change too much, feel me? And you got wing defenders and guys like Alexander Walker, the Bull McDaniels, the young Bulls that he's like 6'9", 6'10". He be out there on the wing defender, can hit a three here and there.
Jalen
And then,
James.
at the end of all that, you got Anthony Edwards. He's putting up 25 5 and 5 right now, shooting efficiently from the field, and he's a straight up killer. Like it, it- to Greg's point, I understand. When it comes playoff time, you don't want to trust. You don't want to trust in Cat. You don't want to put the ball in Cat hands, bro, because he's gonna fold on you every single time. You don't need to worry about him no more though, because Ant is gonna take you there. He like
And
I can't think of many other players in the league right now who at the end of the game I'm more comfortable giving it to him like, yo, make something happen for me. And they can
Kyrie,
do it.
let
What's
me
up?
ask you this.
Uh-huh.
I hate to interrupt you, but who's the better player? Because I seen this debate been popping up really crazy
Oh,
about
here
it.
you go, bro. Here you go.
Ant Edwards and Shea Gillis Alexander. Come on, come
Yo,
on, come on.
bro. That's like Tyson versus Ali. That's like
Ah,
that's like Benny versus Conway. Like I can't
come
pick,
on.
bro. I can't pick.
You
Like
can't pick.
I truly can't because you know why? Last year I probably would have went with Ant Edwards, and I ain't gonna hold you, but Shea has improved so much on the defensive end.
What?
Like we were talking about before we recorded, Collins. I
Yeah.
think he's leading the league in steals right
Still,
now. He's I ain't go. I might have to lead. I might have to lead over towards Shea. I ain't gonna
yeah.
hold you because I'm thinking of the bag, bro. I'm thinking of the bag. I'm thinking about the efficient. I'm thinking about how
Efficiency, not
easy he makes it look scoring and how he takes advantage of mismatches. I think his offensive game is slightly more advanced than Anthony Edwards' game, and that's fine because he's older than him. Like I think he's like 2, 3 years older than him.
Yeah,
But
she always.
right now, his game is a little more. It's just over a little more advanced. Like he's got go to moves. He's got a post game. Like I'm not saying Ant doesn't have go to moves and stuff too. Like he's got that little turnaround jump shot he's developing. He's getting better from the 3-point line. He's shooting from deeper now. But it's just like I don't know. It's like when I watch the Thunder, bro. I don't see Shea miss. This
Mm,
game, I don't see Shea miss, bro. It's like
yeah,
sometimes I'll be on my phone, sometimes I'm not paying attention all the way. But it's just like every time he gets the ball, bro, he get on that block, he don't miss. It's
yeah.
like Sean Livingston back when he was with the Warriors, that little mid range, he did not miss that jump, bro.
What they used to call RJ Barrett, they call him the Maple Mamba. No, I think that's Shay's right there. I think that's
Nah,
Shay.
say the real Maple Mamba, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care. He's the best player from Canada right
Oh God, not even competition.
now, by far. And
MVP
so
potential.
with that, as far as that goes, Colin, I gotta lean towards Shea. But
Mm,
the reasons I gave you before and the stats I gave y'all before, that's why I'm more confident in the Timberwolves as a whole because I think they're a more mature team
mm.
and they're a little bit deeper. When Greg was talking about not trusting Chet Holmgren rebounding for you down the stretch and being physical with other big men, premier big men down the stretch,
Yeah.
a lot of that goes into they don't have no other real big man on the team. Their other big man or other guy they run at center is Jalen Williams, who's like 6'9".
That's
And
true.
that's which is Jay Will and J Dub. They be having playing the floor. J Dub like 6'6".
I mean, he playing well though.
And I'm not taking off from J Dub is nice. I fuck with J
Oh,
Dub.
But
He do his thing, but
who gonna get you a
they don't
rebound?
have no real size off the bench. They don't have no girth behind Chet, so they gonna get bullied when it comes to playing the Anthony Davises, the Sabonises,
right.
the Shenguns. They gonna get bullied, bro, because more physical big men. What happened? Yeah, you what?
He is. He is.
Out of fact.
With the
Hmm.
Warriors, you saw him.
Yeah, yeah. But this is the thing with Sabonis in that playoff series though, bro. And you're right. I agree with you. He had no excuse to really play that bad. But the Warriors, bro, when they figured him out, they figured him out, and they adjusted their defense and they adjusted their lineups to the point. That's why Kevin Looney was eating. I, like
Getting
they
16 boards, 12.
exactly they geared their offense in a way that made one it was forcing Sabonis to shoot, and that's not really his thing. He's not really a standstill shooter, and it was making they turned him into like a big facilitator. That's really what they like made him be. They boxed him out well. So I think the Warriors as a whole had a really good game plan and had veterans to execute that game plan against a guy like Sabonis. Whereas the Thunder, they don't got a Kevon Looney. They don't got a Draymond. They don't got a Jonathan Kuminga who's like a hybrid like four wing that can who's athletic enough to block you down low, but he can guard you on the perimeter too. They don't have those guys at their 4 and 5 position, so it would be a little bit harder, say, in a playoff series for Chet to deal with Sabonis because Sabonis is a 14 rebound per game guy. Whether he's giving you 20 points or whether he's giving you 12, he's gonna be effective on them boards,
Wait,
and
all
he's
right,
super physical.
all right.
So I don't. That's why I think a team like the Thunder would struggle against a guy like Sabonis and other premier bigs in the West.
Okay, that's some fair points. That's some fair points, and I feel like it's definitely a tough assessment for those guys like Greg and Kyrie brought some points. Kendrick too. Johnny, give me your thoughts on this. I know you've been dying to get into it.
Honestly, no. It's everybody. I just honestly, we all making sense here, bro. I gotta go with it right now. Honestly, and it kills me to say this because as much as I feel about Rudy Gobert and how they play, they have gelled better. And as much as I want to say OKC, low key, part of me want to pick OKC as my favorite small market team, but I
Mm.
got to give it to the Timberwolves. Mainly the fact they beat OKC when they matched up early this year. So that just proves that they have the better recipe. They have it's back to basics, bro. They have the basic ingredients to help you get through in the playoffs when it comes to NBA basketball. When the game slows down, you have to have half court defense. You have to have a front court presence, and you have to have guards. And I feel like, and you have to have a bench. And I feel like those are like they're better in those main ingredients to help you get further in the playoffs. So I feel like neither one of those teams will ultimately make make the finals. I would be shocked if either one of those teams made the finals, but as far as between them two, we can go further. Yeah, the T-Wolves have the better recipe. They're built better right now. Their identity is more recognizable. They're more set in their culture. And the front court started working. I can't even expect it. It's some T-Wolves fans saying go Bears an all-star snub. And I mean, they have a little bit of an argument. And as much as I don't want to hear it, but you got to, like I said, not an advocate, got to be an analyst. And as far as that goes, Karl Anthony Towns does not have to take the last shot, and that's what the bane. It's been the bane of this team. And now you have a player to where as though Karl Anthony Towns does not have to take the last shot. And I'm telling you, Anthony Edwards, like he can take you, bro. And like yeah, so now that takes up pressure off of Karl Anthony Towns. Nas Reed, a backup big man, something that I was begging for my Sixers to have. Like I'm just telling you, it must be
Nas
nice,
Reed
bro.
for
It
y'all would
must
have
be
killed
nice.
it, man.
I'm telling you, bro. It must be nice to have relief from your front court in addition to the powerhouses working together. So the Timberwolves are built better right now. 18-4 at home. They've been number one in the West for like half the season so far already. And got number one defensive rating in the league. So, I have to say the T-Wolves are built better right now. They got the better ingredients.
Okay. All right, Johnny. Okay. I'm gonna keep the spotlight on you. We're gonna go to the last topic of this episode. Go with the last topic. So the original question was standout teams and players around the league so far, but we're gonna keep it to the most standout players. What players so far up until this point have definitely surprised you, has been a standout in the league, and you feel like, man, you're kind of excited for the future and potential.
Bro, ironically, I got to go back to OKC. He's one of the reasons they're second place right now. Jalen Williams, bro,
Mm.
like he's the most improved player of the year candidate, and I'm pretty sure I probably took a couple of y'all. Y'all probably somebody was going to say him as well too. Like
Right.
this cat jumped up. I think he averaged about 6 more points per game than he was last year,
Yeah.
and that's a big deal. Like 18, but going on almost 19, almost 20 points per game, 4 boards, almost 5 dimes, shooting 54%, but he's shooting 45% from three. Like,
Mm.
wow. He's shooting 45% from three. I don't know what happened, but this young, like he's part of that young core that's helping him gel. He's working good with Shea. Shea's a great facilitator. He works well with teammates. He puts Jalen in good positions, but Jalen can prove that he can take the ball as a dribble and create his own type of offense. I didn't see this young boy coming. Like I didn't see him hitting the ground running like this heavy. Like I'm very excited for him. Jalen Williams is one of my most underrated, like sneaky good young boys that's coming out. Like
Right.
I love these. I remember we said Tyrese Halliburton. I think that was our pick last year or the
Mm.
year before. I think it was Tyrese, but
Yeah.
this year I got to go with Jalen, bro. Got to go with Jalen. Like that young boy.
That's who you going with. Okay, Johnny, I love it.
Yeah.
Kendrick, spotlight's on you. Give me your thoughts. Standout player who you felt like is definitely shining this year, and you can see a great, potential and future for those guys.
I said it. We were chit chatting about this back in the chat.
Mm.
And I as I said, Anthony Edwards. My man I feel like he took that step. He took that next step that I saw coming out of him when he was playing in the summer as USA.
I'm about to say the summer. Do you want to bring up the summer? This past summer he had?
He was hooping in the summer, and I'm like, well, this was his time. He was at alternate all-star, but he was still considered it because he was hooping, and it was just that because he was right there. And I said, this next season, this is year 4 for him. So he was like, he's been there enough where he's like, all right, I can really lock in now and I can know what I can do, and that's what he's doing. He's averaging 25. He's averaging 25, 5, and 4 and 1 steal. I'm just saying that's all around. He's playing. He's
I'm about to
overall
say
picked
he
up his play.
committed to the defensive end, Bader. The best defense I've seen him play his whole career is this year.
Yeah, he's
What are you
really
talking
locked in
about,
on
bro?
the defensive side, and that's what's making him. That's what's making him really stand out. He's like, all right, I really got to play. He's showing why he can be that top player, that top caliber player. being on both sides, playing two way. Like, he's going to get there defensively as well, and he's really going to bring together the team. And he's going to really he's going to do a little something in Minnesota. I feel like he might do something outrageous in a year or two. He might do something outrageous in a year or two. I ain't gonna say too much right now, but just trust the process on him. No pun intended.
Got to mark down, bro.
That's the process. Okay.
No. Oh God, I'm not ready to hear.
Listen, Kyrie, I'm swinging to you and then swing to Greg. Last but not least, so go ahead, Kyrie.
For sure. I had 3 people I wrote down, so I'm gonna make it quick. First
Right.
one, Derek White from the Celtics, yo. He's been hooping. I ain't gonna cap. Derek White been hooping, yo. And
I can't say his name. I'm a Sixers fan. He tortures us every meetup. I can't. I refuse to say his name.
bro, trust
Yo,
me,
that
I
was
know.
all that.
I know. I
Was a
know.
hooper.
And the thing that makes him so annoying and so pesky, bro, is how good of a defender he is, and how much is brought out because he's right next to Drew on that top line. It's like you get switched off a ball screen to Drew, it's Derek right in your face. Like, damn. Then you get switched off
Relax.
again, Jaylen Brown. Like, yo, like he's one of the, like, you talk about glue guys, bro. Like back in the day, like Shane Battier, stuff like that. Like, he's like the ultimate glue guy, where he's shooting like 40% from 3 this season. I think around 50% from the field. He lets the offense come to him. He don't try to force nothing. He gets dimes. He gets rebounds. He's averaging over a steal and over a block a game. In my opinion, he's an early candidate for defensive player of the year. Like
Yeah, and
Derek White
please,
definitely
please.
hoop.
It makes me mad because I'll be thinking every time, like when he plays us, I'll be thinking, why can't we take advantage of Derek White? Like, okay, Derek White's in the game. All right, bet. Mismatch with Derek White. Wait, blow by him. Wait, back him there. How is he just consistently holds his own, bro? He very
He's
underrated defense. I have to say that. It's annoying, bro.
bro. He one of like the strongest guards in the league. Like on top of being very athletic, he one of the strongest like just power wise like guards in the league, bro. And like he really brings out another gear into that Celtics team that's already crazy with Kristaps, Jason, and Jaylen Brown. He brings out another gear in that team and helps kind of keep everything together with stuff when stuff starts to hit the fan. So I definitely had to give him a shout out. My guy Alperen Sengun, I like. That's my second guy. Like, bro, I ain't gonna hold y'all. He's probably my
Every year,
favorite player. He's probably my favorite player in the league. Like one of my favorite players to watch.
because they don't
And
talk about him.
like we can like y'all could like I'm like viewers y'all can go back to the 2021 draft episode me and Colin did. I said it from the rip. He is real. My like who at 18 wins MVP overseas in one of the top leagues in the world. Like,
Hooper.
and when we just look at his progression from his first season when he was still pretty raw, still trying to get together like with the speed of the NBA and stuff like that, to now where he's putting up over 20 points a game and getting 9 boards, 4 or 5 dimes a game. Like he's definitely blossomed from one of the like the top premier bigs when we talking about like Jokic, Sabonis, AD. He's getting up there, and he's one thing I want to touch on in his offensive game is he's made himself more dangerous because now he's got that little like that one leg fadeaway mid range shot where he can kind of spin it, like he can kind of spin out of the post. He has multiple ways to manipulate you while he's in the post. So like he's able to get that shot off. He can pass. He can look it over your head. He can dump it off. Like he's just super versatile, bro. And I really appreciated. I just really appreciate watching his game grow so much this past season. He definitely should have been had an All Star nod. And definitely should be in the running for most improved player. And then last but not least, yo, I gotta give it to D Book, bro. Cause
Uh,
one,
uh,
the Suns were dead in the water when he was missing games. When Bradley Beal missed that whole chunk of games, came back, hurt his foot in that game back, and was out again. Kevin Durant missed some games. The Suns looked like it was looking dark for the Suns, bro. No pun intended, but it was looking dark for them. And Devin Booker, like when he came back from injury, bro, he just been on a tear. And last week in a 3 game span, he put up like 154 points. He had 2 40-point games and a 60 ball. Like he out there wilding.
Yeah,
But
that was a little bit. It's been a couple of snap sessions in this first half of the season so far.
it definitely has. But my favorite thing that I've seen him grow into this season is, in my opinion, he's one of the best all-around players in the league right now. When you talk about him running point and averaging a career high 7 dimes a game, still putting up points. He's averaging a career high just under 29 points a game too.
He
5 boards.
having
Huh?
What's
an
up, Tyler? It sounded like he. Thought you were saying something. I think he cut out though.
I want to say his passing and his rebounding impressed me the most about how he developed his game.
Absolutely. And I was watching that game. He dropped a 60 against Indiana. Just how he crashes the boards. He's always active. He's communicating on defense. He's staying in front of guys. Like he's honestly turned into one of the best all around players in the NBA from so far this season. And I just had to give him a shout because now he got the Suns that I think they're in the sixth seed right now. They're playing good basketball, he's the one to look at too. Kevin Durant's putting up 28 a game too.
Yeah,
But
they just took care of Brooklyn.
if they have Devin Booker, bro, playing the multiple hats, wearing the multiple hats that he's wearing as a star on that team, they'd be gone. They'd be lost right now. So I definitely had to give a shout out to him.
great choices. Great choices. I'm loving every single one of the choices. Greg, last but not least, we're gonna end it off with you. Just, give us some standout players from your perspective. Definitely love to.
He make you like, if you would know him, you'd be like, go ahead, shoot that. That was nasty. Oh, he made it.
You can have that.
He swept that jump.
Good shout out. Great shout out.
There.
He been hooping, bro. Been hooping.
Yeah. He had the most infamous quote of all Twitter.
Having none of that. Robinson wasn't having none of that.
And he might be a little bit rusty coming off injury.
That's
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
I got a I got a quick question because I was thinking about this honestly before we recorded. One, the Cavs record with Darius Garland is worse than the record than it has been without Darius Garland. And Jared Allen's resurgence came like right after Evan Mobley went down. So the Cavs essentially really like have been playing better without Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, which is highly confusing to me. But
Top five
what
picks. Like the
what what
Marquez.
like what like I just want to hear from y'all. Like, who do y'all give credit? Do you think it's really just Donovan and Jared Allen like just stepping up, or can we give some love to like to JB Bickerstaff who is using his guys well, like Craig Porter Jr., the rookie, Dean Wade, like Isaac Okoro's having an okay season. Like,
I,
what do you guys think?
well, putting aside Isaac Okoro, I definitely want to give that's what Greg said. I think Jared Allen, just he's been progressing since the Brooklyn Nets. Remember, from the Brooklyn Nets, he was progressing. We
Mm-hmm.
saw the climb with the Nets, which
Was an
I'm
All
still
Star, I
shocked
believe.
that they. Huh?
And
Yeah,
my and my thing is, who made that trade to get him to Cleveland? Because
I know. I'm
everybody in the
shocked.
around the
We
league
gave
was
him away.
like,
I'm
"Brr,"
shocked. I'm like,
and look at them now. So I got to give it to the front office. Like,
yeah,
as far as what they've done with that team, bit by bit and piece by piece.
yeah,
And like I said before, it's like it's uh, it's kind of like the Hawks, but except you didn't have that Trey Young. It seemed like Cleveland was just trying to find something or anybody to just pull the franchise together with Andrew Wiggins and Anthony Bennett, and they just
Dion
kept
Waiters.
trying. Yeah,
Deion
they
Waiters
just kept
next to
trying
stop
to
me.
find something to pull themselves together. And by George, I think they finally almost have something. And it
Mhm.
turns out it came through free agency. Rebuilding didn't seem to like really didn't seem like they were really good at that. Seemed like
No,
they made a couple of like they were better at making off-season moves,
right.
better
Yeah.
than rebuilding. It seemed like they were better at that, and they found their niche in that. And they're like, okay, let's find a way where we can do this and have it not kick us in the butts 5 years later down the line. But they got better at contracts, they got better at structuring, they got better at player recognition and fitting their system. And I also believe they low key established identity. And they're hanging their hats on defense with Jared Allen, bro. I got to give it to the front office on that.
All
Yeah, that was
right.
a good sign out there.
Right. The Brooklyn Nets. Mm, right. Cap. That, that's of course. Ain't lying. This is yeah. Mm. Okay. Okay. All right. Fair point. Legitimate points. Listen, I love it all. I loved all the answers, and I'm pretty sure the fans and subscribers, hopefully, they enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed recording this episode. And but that concludes episode 142 of the Straight Zone podcast. A great episode indeed. Hopefully, you guys enjoy as much as we enjoyed recording it once again. Like I said, leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Definitely turn on the post notifications. Follow us on Instagram. The link will be in the description below for each and every single one of us. Yes, not only just YouTube, you can check us out on all streaming platforms. I'm talking Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeart, whatever streaming services out there, we're on it. And the best part is you don't got to pay a dime nor a penny. It's free. Just all we ask is just for you to share it out with your friends, any sports fans you know. And like I said, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and stay tuned for the next episode. Be safe, everybody. Guys, don't leave. Don't leave. Do not leave. Do not leave. Kyrie, I hit the stop button, but it don't look like it stopped the recording. It's like it's gray. It turned gray. It's not. All right. Yeah, don't, Greg, don't leave. Kendrick, don't leave. Nobody leaves. So yeah, just wait until your guys' part say 100%, and then we're gonna go ahead and then close it off. You guys don't, yeah, just stay on the app. Don't leave. Just chop it up for a minute. I got just the best one. Hold on. Yeah, bro. Just let it give it a minute.